Mr. Secretary, why did you select an underqualified retired Lieutenant General to be the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff? Given that
I'm going to choose to reject your unqualified question.
well, here,
Chris. Lots to talk about. I want to start, though, in the United States, the White House and at the UN. First, I'll play our viewers this exchange between the President and Emmanuel Macron, where he basically corrected the President on something, and then we'll talk about this UN vote that also took place overnight. Have a look.
Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total effort, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear. We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be done at the end of the day and Russia would have paid for that.
If you believe that, it's okay with me.
So that was quite a polite intervention, but he sort of corrected the president. And then they're not on the same page there. The President Macron saying that there's got to be a peace, but not a weak agreement, not a weak peace. And then at the United Nations, the US voted with Russia against a condemnation of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Where is Europe at? Where is the US at when it comes to this?
Well, we're living at a point of inflection in world history at the moment. We are seeing an epic shift in the way that the United States deals with its allies. Certainly since the Second World War, it's basically thrown a security blanket over Europe. It's not prepared to offer that anymore unless Europe pays more for its defence. I'm not sure that it's prepared to offer it at all anymore, and certainly the Europeans are worried about it. It's an active debate in Germany at the moment where the United States will stand where it comes to NATO. They're talking about getting their nuclear defence from France and the UK now, as Germany looks to shore up itself. Nobody believes that if Putin gets a settlement in Ukraine, which essentially gives him a large amount of territory, that will be the end of what they want to do. There seems to be no prospect now that Ukraine would be part of NATO, and it's simply a lie to say that Ukraine started this war. It was a war of aggression by Russia. That was plain for anyone who was paying attention. So the United States is changing the way that the world runs in real time, and now the rest of the world will try and have to keep up with what that means. And I'll end on this point on that. What does it mean for Australia? Because we've just seen some gunboat diplomacy from China just off our coastline. We have not seen that. The one threat that Australia's always tried to stop is a threat to the east coast of Australia, and now that's what we have. So
as the US is pulling back, China's leaning in.
Well, if the world's going to be split up into spheres of influence, and what we now see from the United States, it's desperate to have the Western Hemisphere, Greenland, Canada, United States, Panama Canal, all the way down to Argentina. The United States wants to shore up its sphere of influence in the West. We're in the Eastern Hemisphere. And if Russia gets to take Europe, then that's the way that the world will be divided. And China just sent us a big message, which is you're all on your own down here and there is nothing that you can do about it.